My name is Charlene. For those of you who don't know me, or you might remember me from way back when we used to do online small groups when the pandemic first started. I still hang out with some of you all online every couple of weeks. But today I wanted to introduce myself to those who might not know me. And also share a message with you all, which is titled, "It is Personal Because Jesus Knows Your Story." Now, let me tell you all about a bit of my story. I grew up in the Bay Area. It is my home, but home is also a word that is not exactly easy to define for me, because even though I grew up in the Bay Area, I also spent a lot of time in Mexico, where most of my family still lives. And ever since I was 6, I would go back and visit them. And that is also a place that I call home, because it is where I felt like I could be myself. It is where I could feel, that part, I could feel connected with my culture too, and my ancestors, my great-grandparents, and the food, and how that was connected to me and who I was, and my history, where I came from. And the reason I'm sharing this is because oftentimes there's more to a person than just their name, or what we observe about them, how they talk or how they behave. We often assume things about people. If you can think about that, people, maybe your classmates or on your sports teams, or in your neighborhood, we assume things about people because that is our human nature. But there's often just a lot more to the story. I want you guys to think about Black Panther and the way that the filmmakers presented or started off the movie. They didn't just right away introduce us, the audience, to the character of Black Panther. They first let us enter this world of Wakanda, because that was his home. And the writers understood that for us to understand who Black Panther was, who he is, we had to understand first where he came from. And now we might feel confident, that oftentimes we can assume, that things about a certain person because of just our first look at them. But, when we think about films and how they present the plot of a story, we can learn from that, because we don't know the full picture of who a person is by just, first glance, or the way that they act, or where they live, their house, or who their friends are, or more. So this is the first thing I want you guys to remember. Everyone has a backstory, and each and every person that we think we know, there's a lot more to them. And if we really want to know someone, we have to understand first where they come from. We have to see more than just what's on the outside. We have to understand their experiences, their beliefs, and a lot more that makes them who they are. Now, you too have a backstory, and I don't know what that is, but this is sometimes, probably you think about this a lot more than you think you do. For example, maybe your teacher's giving you so much homework, and you just wish that they understood how stressed out you are because of everything that's going on at home. There's so many things going on with your extracurriculars, your sports, your theater, your other classes, and they don't understand. You feel like they don't understand. That is your backstory. You wish they understood your backstory. Now, you see what I mean? the stuff going on that you wish other people would consider. But I think the question for all of us is this: do we give the same kind of grace and consideration to other people? Because I know that I oftentimes don't. Sometimes I forget myself. I rarely consider the backstories of other people if I'm not consciously thinking, I really should get to know this person on a deeper level. Sometimes it's just surface level, you know? And I forget how powerful and how good it feels to personally connect with someone. And one way that we can do this, to make an effort to understand where other people are coming from, is to open up first ourselves. And that can be hard, you know? Sometimes we don't want to open up ourselves. But that is one of the ways that we can make other people feel comfortable to also open up to us. And that's something that Jesus wants. He doesn't want people to be lonely. He wants people to be in community, people who can develop real friendships with other people, not just superficial ones. And he gives us some great examples of this himself in the Gospels. For example, you might have heard of the Zacchaeus story. When in Luke 19, you can go there, Luke 19, 5-6. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up at a tree and said to the guy that was on the tree, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. Now I realize Jesus inviting himself over to Zacchaeus' house may seem a little strange. And it's also something that we don't see often in our culture, in our community, where people go out in the streets or at school and they invite people who might be unpopular to their house. That's not something that happens. But this is something that Jesus did, because Jesus saw beyond what other people's first impression of someone was. He wanted to know their backstory. Jesus wasn't satisfied with only knowing about Zacchaeus from the perspective of what other people thought about him. He wanted to take that step, that step of going right to where he lived, because he wanted to really get to know Zacchaeus. And this is a really interesting observation that we might make, because where we live says a lot about who we are. Look around your room, if you're in your room, or in your living room, or wherever you might be, even your bathroom. What things are in that room that makes it home for you, that makes you feel comfortable there, as opposed to maybe the room at some other person's house? What makes that place a place where, yeah, you can be you? Our home can often tell us a lot about us. And when we go to someone's home, it is more likely that that person can feel more at ease there and can open up, perhaps, as opposed to if you invite them to your house. They might feel out of place because they don't know, their surroundings. Jesus made it personal. He wanted to make it personal with Zacchaeus, and he took that step to understand first where he lived. And of course, Jesus already knew Zacchaeus' backstory because he is Jesus. He is God. But that visit still meant a lot to Zacchaeus, because it showed him that, and it let him know that he was accepted, story and all. And it was a big gesture, Now, where we live is just a part of our backstory. I didn't want to give you the impression that where we live is our entire backstory, but it's the part that most people don't typically get to see. And what's cool is that what Jesus did for Zacchaeus was an example of something that Jesus does for you and for me. While he might have just walked into a man's house that day, it gives us a small glimpse into the way that God stepped into all of our lives when he chose to send his son to earth and make things personal with us, allow us to have a personal relationship with him, because he came down to earth and walked among us, and he too went through the things that we also struggle with as humans. And that makes it more personal to me, because he knows what it's like to walk in our shoes. And he doesn't just see and understand us a little bit, or he doesn't just know a little bit about us. He doesn't just know our likes and dislikes, our things, our pet peeves, or what our house looks like, but he knows how the meaning that it brings into our life. He understands and knows our feelings, our ancestry, our culture that we grew up in, and how that has influenced or had an impact on our lives and our beliefs and our experiences and our thoughts. And there's just so much, you know, to you as a person that most people do not know, but Jesus does know. And he wants you to also share that with others, so that others can feel that they too can be accepted and belong and have that true friendship where they can feel at home. Because remember, when we should feel most comfortable and at home with God, and when we communicate with him, that is when we really know, you know, that we have that personal relationship with God, with our Creator, with the one who made us. But because he now lives in us as Christians, we also want others to feel that as well when they're with us, that they too feel heard, that they also feel valued and loved and listened to, because Jesus would really want that. And so I challenge you all today to think about one person, just one person at your school, in your class, in your neighborhood, in your community, and on your sports team. Maybe if you're in theater, I don't know what other activities you might be involved in. Online, if there's, you know, some person that you follow on your social media that you haven't spoken to in a long time, or that you've noticed that people might have criticized or might, you know, dislike for whatever reason, to reach out to them, because there's a lot more to their backstory than we know, you know, than you might assume. And so think about, what is one thing that you can share with them about your story, about your backstory, that might make them feel more comfortable to open up to you, to feel heard and validated, because they might be hurt, they might feel lonely, or, you know, they might not have ever had a personal friendship with anyone. Everything might just be superficial to them, but you can show them the difference of what it's like to be a true friend, you know. And even if they might be hesitant at first to open up, it's okay, you know, to make an effort to try and step into their world, or show them a part of your world, can make them feel a part, like they're also a part of something. And that is, you know, what we are meant to do, is to treat others with that kindness, with that personal touch that we too would like for ourselves, because we are social creatures, and it's important to have that personal relationship with other people and not just superficial interactions, right? So yeah, I leave you all with that challenge and encourage you to share that, any learning experiences you have from that, with your small group leader. And yeah, that is all for today. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Bye all.
Want to come into your presence today. We bring all of our hang-ups, all of our distractions, any brokenness. Lord, we bring that and we lay that at your feet today. Lord, we want to open our hearts, we want to open our minds to experience you. God, would you speak to that person this morning that walked in here just needing to know that you're here? Just needing to draw closer to you. Would you draw us closer with your Spirit, God? In your name we pray. Like a rushing wind, come and breathe in my heart. Through the raging storm, me in your arms, 'cause I need you. How I need you. I need your love like I need water. I need your love like I need breath inside my lungs, burning my heart just like a fire. Come and take me over. Jesus, draw me closer to your heart. Make that your prayer. And rain, I can hear you call my name. When the nights get rough, I will still sing out your praise, 'cause I need you, and I need you. How I need you. I need your love like I need water. I need your love like I need breath inside my lungs, burning my heart just like a fire. Come and take me over. Jesus, draw me closer. I need your love. I need your love like I need. Oh, I need your love like I need. Inside my lungs, burning my heart just like a fire. Come and take me over. Jesus, draw me close to your heart. Your heart, to your heart, to your heart, to your heart, to your heart. Closer than my every breath, closer than my every step. Closer than the song I sing, closer than anything, closer than my every breath, closer than my heart. To your heart. To your heart. To your heart. At the center of everything that we do, God, we want to come closer and closer to you. We sing it one more time. I need your love. I need your love like I need water. I need